Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Zero Trusts Given, where we're trying to be a source for trying to provide some signal for all the noise that exists in that zero trust area. I am your host, Tom Tittermary. Also with me, I have Tom Gianelos. Say hi, Tom.
Say hi, Tom.
And this week, we have a super interesting guest. Every week, we're either taking a giant step back and looking at zero trust as a whole, or on a week, I'll try to bring a guest in from outside. We'll try to bring a guest in from outside. They can give some really interesting color into one of the individual subcategories or pillars around zero trust. So this week, we wanted to dig in deep a little bit to one that I find super interesting, the data authorization pillar, but also something that's kind of an overlay to zero trust as a whole. We wanted to get into that conversation. How does AI fit into this as a whole? And specifically with a little bit of a nod around data authorization. So our guest this week is a good friend of mine. You guys are going to love him, one of the smartest people that I know. A gentleman named Skip Farmer. Introduce yourself, Skip.
Hey, Tom, thank you. You're too kind there. But it's Skip Farmer. I am with Primer. I am the director of SE engineering. That's a little redundant, I guess. So we'll just say the SEs. And, a little bit about Primer real quick. Primer accelerates the time to actionable intelligence by providing insight through the application of AI to massive amounts of unstructured data. So as we all know, there's more and more data out there. And we were talking about this in preparation here, the Toms and I, about there's just too much information, obviously, for individuals to go through anymore, almost in any task. I feel like it every day in email, right? We get our emails, and now you've got email tools for AI to help you respond, and it's getting pretty busy out there. So I think we have a couple of topic areas we were talking about. Did you want to pick one to start, or we just kind of jump in?
Just to yes and what you were saying. Anybody who's listening, my fear is that you could see the amount of unreads in my email inbox. I tell people all the time, speaking about signal and noise, right? Like, an email will reach me eventually, right? But faster ways to get to me are typically Slack, phone, text, like those types of things, right? I probably need some primer to go through my email inbox. But on the topic that we were kind of discussing a little bit at the top, right? So zero trust and AI gets really interesting, right? So we've always talked about zero trust on the show, and we try to break it down into the primitives, right? There's policy decision point, there's policy enforcement point, right? The end of the game is, how do I make sure that people, person entity or non-person entity, people or things, have access to the exact right amount of data that they need for task? So right data to the right person at the right time in the right context, right? How do I avoid sharing a sensitive document with the right person in the wrong geography, or on a phone device, or all of these individual things, right? So Tom G and I, it's super easy kind of from where we sit with the company we work with. We punch those secure tunnels. We make that connectivity happen. From a policy decision point perspective, right, there's a ton of data I want to pull about the entity trying to get access to those data applications, assets, or services. Almost as important, on the data side, I need a lot of PDP about the data from a tagging perspective. What is this data? What kind of circles should it travel in? So, I mean, the conversation I want to open up, right? So an AI is going to work its way through data, right? Is an AI a person entity? Is it a non-person entity? How do I measure that PDP around that AI to determine what types of data it's allowed access to? And kind of where do we start that conversation?